Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today you get this bonus second video. If you haven't seen my 2015 bookish goals, you can check them out right here. I will link them right here as well as in the down bar. That went up earlier today. And this video is going to be something a little different for me, and that is my 2015 most anticipated books, or the most anticipated books of 2015. I hesitated to do this video because I am not usually one to pick up books the day they come out, or to really even know when new books are coming out, but I spent a little time poking around on Goodreads just because that's what I do, and I watched a lot of videos about other people's most anticipated books of 2015, and I got excited about a few of them, and I probably won't pick up all of these the day they come out, or really maybe not even this year, but they are books that I'm really looking forward to reading. One of my favorite authors is putting out 2 new books this year, and I'm incredibly excited about those, and I will probably pick those up the day they come out. So yeah, here are a few books that I am looking forward to that are being published in 2015, and let's get started. Alright, so the first book comes out on January 13th, which is just around the corner, and it is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. And the only thing I've read by Holly Black was a little short story in My True Love Gave to Me, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did like her writing, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and it sounds really interesting. It's basically a book where humans and fairies, or fae, exist in the same world and like can interact, and the part that really made me go, huh, now I want to know what happens, is that it talks about how there's a boy who's been sleeping in this glass coffin for years and years and years, and he has horns and pointy ears, and then it says he's been sleeping for years and now he's awake, and it's sort of about, I guess, what happens as a consequence of that, and I'm curious to see who this boy sleeping in this glass coffin is, and what happens. So I'm looking forward to that one, for sure. On January 27th, a really exciting book comes out, and that is Fairest by Marissa Meyer, and I have really enjoyed reading the Lunar Chronicles, and this book is basically a picture of Queen Lavanna's life, so her story before the events of Cinder, and I'm fascinated because I'm curious about her life, because we don't get a whole lot of her story in the Lunar Chronicles as of right now, and so I'm curious what made her the person that she is, but at the same time I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. She's evil and scary, and I don't like her in any way, shape, or form, so I'm hoping that I will find something likable in her in this book, because if not, it's going to be a little painful to read. So the next one comes out on February 24th, and it is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I have still yet to read Vicious, even though I've heard tons of good things about it, and it sounds like something I would really enjoy, but this book sounds like something I will love, and it's basically this guy travels between all these different parallel universes, and it's got all these different incarnations of London. So one that's just like gray and boring and there's no magic. Another one where magic lives sort of in harmony, and it's you know, this great magical place. And then there's another London where people fight over the control of magic and it's really violent. And then it says there's I think it's Black London, that no one talks about. Like, it used to exist, but nobody talks about it anymore. And the main character is, I guess, sort of some sort of messenger or smuggler or something, and he travels between all of the different worlds. For some reason, he has to flee Grey London, and I am really curious about how this unfolds and all the different parallel universes created, because it sounds, from what I've heard about V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab, that she is an incredible world builder, and so I am very excited to check this one out. On March 3rd, The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. I have not actually ever read anything by this author, but again, I've heard really fantastic things, and I have definitely added some of his other books to my wish list. But this one, the only sort of description it has is that a couple sets out across a troubled land of mist and rain to look for the sun that they haven't seen in years. And that intrigues me. And like I said, I've heard fantastic things about his writing, and I just want to check this one out. So if you have read any of his other books, then let me know what you think of his writing and of those books. And yeah, I'm excited about this one too. I'm excited about them all, apparently. On April 7th, the book I Refuse, a Novel, which is by Per Peterson, is being released in English. It was actually published in 2012 in Norwegian, and I think this is the first time that it is being translated into English. And I read the synopsis of it and just thought it was really interesting sounding and definitely sort of mysterious, and I just got hooked and decided to add it to my wish list. And it's basically about two men who meet by chance on a bridge, and they haven't seen each other in 35 years. They used to be best friends and inseparable, and then something happened one day on a frozen lake, and it sort of, I guess, tore their relationship apart, and they haven't seen each other since or aren't friends anymore. And the end of the synopsis says that through the course of the day, each man's life is irrevocably changed. And I just think that sounds really intriguing. It sounds like sort of a human discovery thing, or like, you know, just something that is going to be really powerful and beautiful, and I am definitely looking forward to picking it up. So the book I'm most looking forward to this year comes out on June 2nd, and it is called The Other Daughter, and it's by Lauren Willig. And I have enjoyed pretty much everything Lauren Willig writes. She writes historical fiction, she has the Pink Carnation series, and she's had a number of standalone novels that are also historical fiction. And this one sounds really, really interesting. It's about a girl whose mother dies, and she's left alone, and she finds all these scrapbooks that have all these clippings from London tabloids, and realizes that the father she thought was dead is actually alive and has another family and another daughter. And so she sets out on this sort of mission to unveil her father's deceit and bring the world, the charmed world, because he's like an earl, and he's pretty well known and prominent in London society, and her half-sister is a debutante and has everything that she wants. And so she wants to bring their charmed life crashing down around them. And in her journey, she finds out that she really kind of likes her half-sister, and and their situation isn't necessarily as charmed as it looks. And so I'm very interested to see how this pans out. And I'm also interested to see if this is going to be a dual perspective novel like most everything that Lauren Willig writes is, or if this is going to be just sort of a straightforward novel. Because that could be interesting. This is probably the number one novel that I will be picking up the day it comes out or pre-ordering, because it just sounds really good. So on July 28th, Ernest Cline is putting out a new novel, and it's called Armada, and it looks like another epic journey. It's about a boy, a teenager, who is like a gamer and a nerd, and he plays this one video game obsessively. And it turns out that the video game he's been playing obsessively is actually a government training program, because they're training people to defend Earth against a possible alien invasion. And he's sitting in math class, and this ship lands, and they're calling his name because apparently the invasion is happening. So that's all I know about it, but from how much I enjoyed Ready Player One, I really think this is going to be something that I also enjoy. And Ernest Cline, I like his writing style, and I think that the premise sounds really fun. So this is definitely something that I will be picking up when it comes out, because Ernest Cline, you got me. You got me with Ready Player One. On August 4th, the final book in the Pink Carnation series is coming out, and it's called The Lure of the Moonflower, also by Lauren Willig. And I don't know too much about this book because I haven't read the 11th book yet. I have it, I got it for Christmas, but I haven't actually read it yet, so I didn't want to read the synopsis for this one. I do know that this is Jane's book, and that's really exciting, because for anybody who has actually read the Pink Carnation series, Jane has been a central character throughout all 11 books so far, but we don't really know a whole lot about Jane or exactly what she's up to or, you know, her feelings or things like that. And so this being Jane's book is super exciting to finally get a look inside of this kind of closed off character, and I can't wait. I'm sad for the series to end, but I think that the 12 is a good number of books for this series, and I am excited to see what she does with the finale. And I'm also excited to see what she does with Eloise and Colin's story, because, like I said, all of them are told in like a dual perspective, and the dual perspective here is that there's always like I guess, historic perspective. There's always the historic part of the story, which is really the main story for each book, but then there's this side story that is Eloise, who is she is researching, I think she's from Harvard. She's researching French spies in this certain time period, and so that's sort of how we get into it initially, and throughout the whole thing, they always go back at different times to Eloise's story and what she's doing in sort of modern time. And it references, you know, these papers that she's reading that are telling her the story that we are hearing as like the main part of the book. So it's really cool. I like the way that that's done. And so I'm interested to see how she wraps up Eloise's story. And I'm definitely interested to see, you know, more into Jane's perspective and Jane's story. And the last one is one that I think a lot of people are looking forward to, and it comes out on November 24th, and it is, of course, Winter by Marissa Meyer, and it's the fourth and final book in the Lunar Chronicles. And I didn't realize until I watched a couple videos that it is going to be the final book, which is kind of sad, but also I'm excited because I want to know where the story goes and how it ends. And we don't really know a whole lot about what is going to happen in Winter. And in fact, we don't even have a cover for it. But yes, I am super excited and interested and looking forward to getting my hands on that one when it comes out. And I will probably actually pre-order that one because I will want to read it immediately. Alright, so that is it for the books that I am looking forward to in 2015. I would love to hear what books you're looking forward to in 2015, and if you're going to be adding any of these to your wish list, I'd definitely like to know which ones you're interested in. I hope you guys are having a happy new year, and I will see you next time. Bye!